Hello, my friend. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Take a breath, relax your shoulders, let yourself settle in. Because today, we're going to do something special together. We're going to learn English slowly, gently, and we're going to discover something powerful about the human spirit. Today's lesson is called The Untold Story of Winston Churchill. And I promise you, by the end of our time together, you'll not only improve your English, you'll also feel something deeper, something that reminds you why you started this journey in the first place. You know, learning a language is not just about words. It's not just about grammar. It's about connection. It's about understanding. It's about feeling safe enough to make mistakes and brave enough to keep going. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to walk through this story together, slowly, calmly, with no pressure, no rush. Just you and me. Before we dive into Winston Churchill's life, I want to talk to you for a moment. I want to talk about something simple, something you do every single day. I want to talk about breathing. Yes, breathing. You're doing it right now. In and out. In and out. It's automatic, isn't it? You don't think about it. Your body just does it. But here's the interesting thing. When we feel stressed, when we feel nervous, when we feel afraid, our breathing changes. It becomes shallow, it becomes fast, and our body feels tight. Now, why am I telling you this? Because learning English can feel the same way. Sometimes, when you try to speak, your mind races, your heart beats faster, you feel that tightness in your chest. You think, what if I make a mistake? What if people don't understand me? What if I sound silly? And suddenly, learning English doesn't feel calm anymore. It feels stressful. It feels hard. But today, we're going to change that. Today, you're going to practice breathing while you learn. You're going to give yourself permission to go slowly, to pause, to repeat, to feel safe. Because that's how real learning happens. Not in a rush, not in fear, but in calmness, in patience, in kindness to yourself. So right now, take a slow breath with me. In through your nose, hold it for just a moment, and out through your mouth. Good. You just gave your brain more oxygen. You just told your body, we're safe, we can relax, we can learn. And that's exactly the feeling I want you to carry through this entire lesson. Now, let's talk about Winston Churchill. You've probably heard his name before. Maybe you've seen his picture. A serious-looking man with a round face, often holding a cigar, making a victory sign with his fingers. He was the Prime Minister of Britain during World War II. He gave powerful speeches. He inspired millions of people. He's remembered as one of the greatest leaders in history. But here's what most people don't know. Here's the untold story. Winston Churchill struggled. He struggled deeply. He struggled with sadness. He struggled with doubt. He struggled with what he called his black dog. That was his way of describing depression. Yes, this strong, powerful, famous leader dealt with depression for most of his life. Let me say that word again slowly. Depression. De-press-in. Depression. It means a deep, heavy sadness that doesn't go away easily. It's not just feeling sad for one day. It's feeling like a dark cloud is following you, like a weight is sitting on your chest, like the world has lost its color. And Churchill felt this way many, many times throughout his life. Now, why is this important? Why am I telling you this? Because it shows us something beautiful. It shows us that even the strongest people have struggles. Even the bravest people feel afraid. Even the most successful people feel like giving up sometimes. And yet, they keep going. They keep trying. They keep moving forward. And that, my friend, is exactly what you're doing right now. You're learning English. Maybe it feels slow. Maybe it feels difficult. Maybe some days you wonder if you'll ever be fluent. But you keep showing up. You keep listening. You keep practicing. Just like Churchill kept going, even when his black dog followed him.
Let me tell you a story. a real story from Churchill's early life. When Churchill was a young boy, maybe 7 or 8 years old, he was sent away to boarding school. A boarding school is a place where children live and study, away from their parents. In those days in England, many wealthy families sent their children to these schools. It was considered normal, expected. But for young Winston, it was painful, very painful. He missed his mother terribly. He wrote her letters, begging her to visit him, begging her to take him home, but she rarely came. His father was busy with politics, always traveling, always working. Winston felt alone, abandoned, like he didn't matter. The school was strict, very strict. The teachers were cold. If a student made a mistake, they were punished, sometimes harshly. Winston struggled with Latin, a very difficult old language that all students had to learn. He couldn't understand it. He felt stupid. He felt like a failure. And the more he struggled, the more he was criticized, punished, made to feel small. Imagine that. Imagine being just a little child, far from home, feeling unloved, feeling like you're not good enough. That pain, that loneliness, it stayed with Winston Churchill his entire life. It shaped him, it hurt him, but it also taught him something. It taught him about suffering, about resilience, about the human need for connection and kindness.
Now, let's pause here for a moment. Let's practice some English together. I'm going to say a sentence, slowly, very slowly, and I want you to repeat it after me. Don't worry about being perfect. Just feel the words in your mouth. Feel the rhythm. Ready? Even the strongest people feel afraid sometimes. Now you try. Say it slowly. Even the strongest people feel afraid sometimes. Good. Take a breath. Let's say it again even more gently. Even the strongest people feel afraid sometimes. Beautiful. You're doing so well. Now, let's try another one. This one is about learning, about patience. Listen first. Learning takes time, and that's okay. Now repeat after me. Learning takes time, and that's okay. One more time with feeling. Learning takes time, and that's okay. Excellent. Do you feel that? You're not just saying words. You're speaking truth. You're reminding yourself to be patient. Let's continue with Churchill's story. As he grew older, he decided to join the military. The military is the army, the soldiers who protect a country. Churchill wanted to be a soldier. He wanted to prove himself, to show everyone that he was brave, that he was strong, that he mattered.
He traveled to different places. He went to Cuba, he went to India, he went to Africa. He saw war, he saw danger. He even got captured once, taken prisoner by the enemy. But he escaped. He ran away in the middle of the night, traveled hundreds of miles through dangerous territory, and made it to safety. It was an incredible adventure. People talked about it, newspapers wrote about it, and suddenly, young Winston Churchill was famous. But even with this fame, even with this success, the black dog still followed him. Inside, he still felt that loneliness from his childhood. He still felt that fear of not being good enough. He still struggled with dark moods that would come and go without warning. So what did he do? He kept himself busy, very busy. He wrote books, lots of books. He wrote about his adventures, about history, about politics. Writing became his therapy, his way of making sense of the world, his way of fighting the darkness inside him. He also entered politics. He became a member of parliament, which means he became one of the people who helped make laws and decisions for the country. He worked hard. He gave speeches, he debated, he argued, he made friends and enemies. His career went up and down, up and down. Sometimes people loved him, sometimes people hated him, but he never stopped trying.
Now, let's think about this for a moment. Here's a man who could have given up. He had every reason to. He felt sad so often. He felt rejected. He made mistakes in his career. He was criticized harshly by newspapers and by other politicians. Some people thought he was too aggressive, too stubborn, too difficult. But Churchill had something inside him, something powerful. He had a belief, a deep belief that he had a purpose, that he was meant to do something important. He didn't know exactly what, he didn't know when, but he felt it. And so he kept going. And then came the moment that changed everything. It was 1940, the year 1940. World War II had begun. Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, had invaded many countries in Europe. France had fallen. Britain stood alone, facing a powerful and dangerous enemy. The situation looked hopeless. Many people in the British government wanted to negotiate with Hitler, to make a deal, to surrender. But then Winston Churchill became Prime Minister, the leader of the country. He was 65 years old, an age when many people retire, when many people slow down, but not Churchill. This was his moment. This was what he had been waiting for his entire life, even though he didn't know it until it happened.
And what did he do? He refused to surrender. He refused to give up. He stood in front of Parliament, in front of the entire nation, and he spoke. He spoke with power, with conviction, with absolute determination. He said words that would echo through history. He said, "We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. Never surrender." Those words, they weren't just about war. They weren't just about defeating Germany. They were about the human spirit, about refusing to give up, even when everything looks impossible, even when you're tired, even when you're afraid, even when the black dog is following you. Let me tell you another story, a smaller story, but a powerful one. During the war, London was being bombed almost every night. German planes would fly over the city and drop explosives. Buildings collapsed, fires burned, people died. It was terrifying. Many children were evacuated, sent away to the countryside to be safe. But many people stayed, hiding in underground stations and basements, wherever they could find shelter.
Churchill would often visit these shelters. He would walk among the people, talking to them, encouraging them. On one visit, he met an elderly woman who had lost her home in a bombing. Everything she owned was gone, destroyed. She had nothing left. Churchill expected her to be devastated, broken. But when he spoke to her, she smiled. She actually smiled. And she said to him, "We can take it, sir. We're not afraid." And Churchill, this strong, tough leader, he started to cry. Right there, in front of everyone. Tears rolled down his cheeks. Because he saw in that woman something extraordinary. He saw courage. He saw resilience. He saw the human spirit refusing to be defeated. That moment reminded him why he was fighting, why he couldn't give up. Because if an old woman who had lost everything could still smile, could still say, "We can take it," then how could he, the leader, surrender? How could he stop believing? Now, I want to pause again. I want us to practice together, because these stories aren't just about Churchill. They're about you too. They're about every person who faces difficulty and chooses to keep going. So let's say some powerful sentences together, slowly, with meaning.
First sentence, listen. I refuse to give up. Now repeat after me. I refuse to give up. Say it again. I refuse to give up. Feel those words. They're your words now. Second sentence, I am stronger than I think. Repeat slowly. I am stronger than I think. One more time. I am stronger than I think. Beautiful. Third sentence. This one is important. Every day I am improving. Say it with me. Every day I am improving. Again. Every day I am improving. Yes, that's true. Even when you don't see it, you're growing. You're learning. Take a breath. You're doing wonderfully. Let's continue. After the war ended in 1945, Britain was exhausted. The country had survived, but at a great cost. Buildings were destroyed. The economy was weak. People were tired. And in the election that year, Winston Churchill lost. The people voted him out. After everything he had done, after leading them through the darkest time in their history, they chose someone else. How do you think Churchill felt? Imagine working so hard, sacrificing so much, giving everything you have, and then being rejected, being told you're not needed anymore. Most people would feel devastated, angry, bitter.
And Churchill did feel those things. He felt hurt, deeply hurt. But he also understood something. He understood that this is life, success and failure, victory and defeat, praise and criticism. They all come and go. They're all temporary. So what did he do? He went home. He spent time with his family. He painted. Yes, Churchill loved to paint. He would sit in his garden with a canvas and brushes, painting landscapes, painting flowers, painting whatever he saw. Painting was his meditation, his peace, his way of calming the black dog. And then, 6 years later, in 1951, the people elected him prime minister again. They realized they needed him, they wanted him back, and he served for several more years before finally retiring. Churchill lived to be 90 years old. He saw so much in his lifetime. He experienced incredible highs and terrible lows. He felt joy and deep sadness. He was praised and criticized. He won and he lost. But through it all, he kept going. He never let the black dog win completely. Before he died in 1965, Churchill said something that has stayed with me. He said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Read that again in your mind. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
What does this mean? It means that when you succeed at something, when you achieve a goal, don't stop there. Don't think you're finished. Keep growing. Keep learning. And when you fail, when you make a mistake, when something doesn't work, don't think it's the end. Don't give up. Because failure is just a moment, just a lesson, just a step on the journey. The real measure of a person, the real strength, is whether they continue, whether they keep trying, whether they refuse to quit. And my friend, that's exactly what you're doing right now. You're continuing. You're here, listening to this lesson, improving your English, even though it's not easy, even though there are days when you feel frustrated, when you feel like you're not making progress. But you're here. You showed up. You're trying. And that takes courage. Let me tell you why I made this video, why I wanted to share Churchill's story with you. It's not just because he was a famous leader. It's because his story teaches us something essential about learning, about life, about ourselves. You see, learning English is a long journey. It's not something you master in a week or a month or even a year. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes consistency. And along the way, you will have moments when you feel discouraged. You'll have moments when you think, I'm not good enough. I'll never speak fluently. Why am I even trying? And in those moments, I want you to remember Churchill. I want you to remember that this man, who is remembered as one of the greatest leaders in history, struggled with depression his entire life. He failed many times. He was rejected. He was criticized. But he never stopped trying. He never let the darkness win completely. And neither should you. When you feel discouraged about your English, when you feel like giving up, take a breath. Remember that learning is not linear. It doesn't go up in a straight line. It goes up and down, up and down. Some days you'll feel confident. Some days you'll feel lost. And that's completely normal. That's completely okay. What matters is that you keep showing up, that you keep listening, that you keep practicing. Even if it's just for 10 minutes a day, even if it's just one video, even if it's just repeating a few sentences. Because every single time you practice, you're building something. You're creating new connections in your brain. You're becoming more fluent, little by little, day by day. Now, let's do something special. Let's practice some of Churchill's most famous words. These are powerful sentences, sentences that inspired millions of people, and I want you to feel them, to own them, to make them part of your English practice. First, let's say this together. Never give in. Never, never, never give in. Listen to the rhythm. Never give in. Never, never, never give in. Now you try. Say it slowly. Never give in. Pause. Never, never, never give in. Good. Say it again with more feeling. Never give in. Never, never, never give in. Excellent. Now, this next phrase, it's from his famous speech during the war. We shall never surrender. Listen. We shall never surrender. Repeat after me. We shall never surrender. One more time. We shall never surrender. Beautiful. Do you feel the strength in those words? Here's another one. This is about courage. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Listen carefully. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Now you say it. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Slower this time. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Yes, perfect.
And one more. This is my favorite. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. This is a longer sentence, so let's break it down. First part, success is not final. Say it. Success is not final. Second part, failure is not fatal. Say it. Failure is not fatal. Third part, it is the courage to continue that counts. Say it. It is the courage to continue that counts. Now let's say the whole thing together, slowly. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Wonderful. You're doing so well. Take a moment. Take a breath. Feel how far you've come in this lesson. You've listened to a long story. You've learned new words. You've practiced difficult sentences. You've stayed focused and present. That takes effort. That takes dedication. And I'm proud of you. Now I want to talk to you about something personal, something I think about often. It's about why we learn languages in the first place. Why do you want to learn English? Really, why? Is it for a job? For travel? For education? Those are all good reasons. But I think there's something deeper.
I think we learn languages because we want to connect. We want to understand and be understood. We want to share our thoughts, our feelings, our stories with more people. We want to break down the walls that separate us. We want to belong to a bigger world. And that's beautiful. That's worth the struggle. You'll feel connected. But here's what I want you to know. You don't have to wait until you're fluent to feel that way, because you're trying, you're learning, you're growing, and that's already an achievement. That's already something to celebrate. Churchill once said something else that I love. He said, "To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often." Think about that. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. What does this mean? It means that growth requires change. You can't stay the same and expect to improve. You have to try new things. You have to make mistakes. You have to be willing to sound silly sometimes, to not know the answer, to ask for help. That's how learning happens, through change, through trying, through imperfection. And the people who improve the most, they're not the people who are naturally talented. They're not the people who never make mistakes. They're the people who are willing to change often, who are willing to try again and again and again, who are willing to fail and learn and grow.
That's you. You're changing. Every time you watch a video like this, every time you practice, every time you use a new word or phrase, you're changing. You're becoming a better English speaker, and that's something to be proud of. Let me share one more small story with you. This is about Churchill's daily routine. Even in his 80s, even when he was old and tired, Churchill had a routine. He would wake up late, around 8 or 9 in the morning. He would have breakfast in bed. He would read the newspapers. Then he would work, writing or meeting with people. In the afternoon, he would take a nap. Yes, a nap. Churchill was famous for his naps. He believed that sleeping for an hour or two in the afternoon gave him the energy to work late into the night. After his nap, he would have dinner with family or friends. He would drink whiskey, he would smoke his cigar, he would talk and laugh and tell stories. And then, late at night, he would work some more. Writing, painting, thinking. Now, why am I telling you about his routine? Because it shows that even great people have ordinary habits. Even great people need rest, need pleasure, need simple joys. Churchill wasn't superhuman, he was human, just like you.
And just like Churchill, you need to find a routine that works for you. Maybe you can't study English for 3 hours every day. That's okay. Maybe you can only practice for 15 minutes. That's okay too. What matters is consistency. What matters is showing up regularly, even if it's just for a short time. Think about it like this. Imagine you want to get stronger physically. You want to build muscle. You can't just go to the gym once and expect to see results. You have to go regularly, maybe 3 times a week, maybe 5 times a week. And each time you lift weights, you push yourself a little, and your muscles grow. Slowly, gradually, but surely. Learning English is the same. You can't just study once and expect to be fluent. You have to practice regularly. And each time, you're building strength in your brain. You're making new connections. You're becoming more confident, more capable. So find your routine. Find your rhythm. Maybe it's listening to English podcasts while you commute. Maybe it's watching videos like this before bed. Maybe it's practicing with a friend once a week. Whatever it is, make it regular. Make it a habit, because habits are how we change. Habits are how we grow. Now, we're getting close to the end of our time together today. But before we finish, I want to give you some encouragement, some final thoughts, some words to carry with you.
First, I want you to know that your English is already better than you think. I know you might not feel that way. I know you might focus on your mistakes, on what you don't know, on how far you still have to go. But that's not the full picture. You understand so much. You've learned so much. You're already communicating in a language that isn't your native tongue. That's incredible. That's something many people never even attempt. Second, I want you to know that mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are proof that you're trying, proof that you're pushing yourself, proof that you're learning. Every mistake you make teaches you something, shows you where you need more practice, where you need more focus. So don't be afraid of mistakes. Welcome them, learn from them, grow from them. Third, I want you to know that you're not alone. There are millions of people around the world learning English right now, just like you, feeling the same frustrations, having the same doubts, making the same mistakes. And just like you, they're not giving up. They're continuing. They're trying. And that creates a kind of invisible community, a community of learners, of strivers, of people who refuse to quit.
You're part of that community, and I'm here to support you, to encourage you, to remind you that you can do this. You can improve your English. You can reach your goals. You can become the confident, fluent speaker you want to be. It will take time. It will take effort, but you can do it. Let's practice one final set of sentences together. These are affirmations, positive statements. I want you to say them out loud, slowly, with feeling. Ready? I am capable of learning English. Say it. I am capable of learning English. Again. I am capable of learning English. I am patient with myself. Say it. I am patient with myself. Again. I am patient with myself. Every day I am improving. Say it. Every day I am improving. Again. Every day I am improving. I refuse to give up. Say it. I refuse to give up. Again. I refuse to give up. Beautiful. Those words are true. They're not just positive thinking. They're statements of fact. You are capable. You are patient. You are improving. And you refuse to give up. I can see it. I can feel it. You're here, right now, at the end of a long lesson, still listening, still learning.
That proves everything.
Now, before we say goodbye, I want to ask you for something. If this video helped you, if you felt something, if you learned something, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up. Click that like button. It helps me so much. It tells me that these videos matter, that they're making a difference, and it helps other learners find this content. Also, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you learned. Tell me about your own English learning journey. I read every single comment, and I love hearing from you. Your stories inspire me. They remind me why I make these videos. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Click that subscribe button because I post new slow listening lessons regularly, and I don't want you to miss them. I want to be part of your English learning routine. I want to support you every step of the way.
You know, when I started this channel, I had a simple goal. I wanted to create a safe space, a place where people could learn English without pressure, without judgment, without fear, a place where they could take their time, breathe, and feel supported. And I think Churchill would have appreciated that, because he understood struggle, he understood darkness, he understood the importance of persistence and kindness. And that's what I want this channel to be, a kind voice, a patient teacher, a friend who believes in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Thank you for working on your English. Thank you for not giving up. Remember Churchill's words, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. You have that courage. You're showing it right now, and I'm honored to be part of your journey. Take care of yourself. Be patient with yourself. Practice regularly, and know that you're not alone. I'm here with you, and together we're going to keep improving, keep learning, keep growing. See you in the next slow listening lesson, my friend.